Alright guys, what's up? So, doing the water pump, timing belt, head gaskets, and head studs. And this is what we got going. So these are all the parts. I got the intake manifold here and the valve covers. I'm gonna end up painting them black. And then yeah, that's everything that's gonna get painted, but this is what the workspace looks like for right now. This is not the way to do it. Don't throw everything into a box, but that's what I'm working with for now. I have a few things I need to reseal. I'm gonna take this off, put a new gasket there, new gasket right on this one, and then motor-wise, if you look under here, I'm gonna do the oil pan, and there's a block plug right there. I don't know if you can see it, but these motors like to leak out of there too. So I'm gonna reseal all of that. And then I'm waiting on the headers. Once I get the headers in a few weeks, I'm gonna finish making the manifolds. And then the coolant piping is gonna get made after that, and then I'm pretty much done. I didn't record too much, but right now I'm at the point, the timing belt is off. I just gotta take the water pump out. This valve cover, the front valve cover is unbolted. I just gotta do the rear. Just took out the coolant passageway. I believe it's called the water neck, I believe. So everything's closing. The shop's closing down today for now. But tomorrow, we're gonna come back, get these new head gaskets in, and also put in the head studs, and then finish up the water pump and timing belt. Alright guys, so right now, everything that needs to come off is off. We are in the process of loosening the head studs. We're gonna take these off, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like underneath. And I'm about to install these ARP head studs. So let's get to that. So all the ARP head studs are in. I'm about to take off the water pump, and then once I replace that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the heads back on. I'm gonna wait to put the heads on just because it'll be a little bit easier to grab those. And yeah, let's get on that. Okay, so I got the water pump off. This screw comes out a little bit hard because there was thread locker in it. And then there's 5. Got the OEM water pump I'm putting in. The gasket is already on there. It's like an O-ring. I'm sure you can see through it. So I'm gonna put those 5 bolts back in with that on. Put these 2 pulleys back, and then throw the heads on. Alright, so all of the head studs are in, the nuts are on. Everything is torqued down to 30. The next step is 60, and then 90, and then once I finish that, I'm gonna put the timing belt on. Alright, so I left the shop. I'm back home. I'm about to paint the valve covers and the top plate for the intake manifold. So what you're gonna wanna do is take off all of these things here, that, and then you're gonna use some tape and block off everything you don't want painted. And but before you do that, you're gonna wanna clean it. I got some Scotch-Brite pad and then some water. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean these. Alright, so everything is clean and masked up. This is probably not the best way to do it, but this is what I'm gonna do for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start painting, and I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like after the first coat. Alright, so we got the valve covers finished. Wrinkle blacked this one. When we were sanding this, the sensor came out, so we're gonna have to repaint that. And then same with the rear, wrinkle black that little heat shield, and then the whole intake manifold. I left out the throttle body just in case, but this is what it's gonna look like. Alright, so it's a while later. I'm back with the Accord. Just doing some little things. We got the timing covers back on. We got the tensioner back on. We have the motor mount on. We have the power steering pump on. What I'm gonna do now, before I put the belt on, is I'm gonna go ahead and take this 10, and then there's another one right here. And I'm going to replace the O-rings that come inside of this, just to stop, because as of right now, it has a little bit of a leak. And I just want to get that taken care of. Alright guys, so this is basically everything put back together. The manifold is not bolted down yet because I saw through the injectors, but I just wanted to see what it would give you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a good look. Alright guys, so I just plumbed up the oil feed line through the oil pressure sensor. You get a T like that, block off one side, line on one, and then you use a little I'm not sure what to call it, but the silver piece, it's just like a thread rod basically, that's hollowed out to allow oil to go up to everything. And then I'm gonna have it run up through and up to the top. Alright guys, so we're back. It's the next day. I'm doing the fuel pump. I got a AEM 340 inflow or intake high flow. So once you remove the back seat, you're gonna spin these like 90 degrees just to get them on this side, and then you can lift this up out of the way. Right, so with that out of the way, you're gonna unclip this and then take that fuel line off. You want to disconnect your battery before you do this. And my car has been sitting for a while, so there should be no fuel pressure accumulated up. But if it has been ran recently, you want to just go ahead and depressurize the system. Alright, so you're going to want to find the special tool so that you can fit around that little ring there. And then you're just going to get a ratchet and break it loose. Alright, so now that you got the pump out, you got to be careful because there's still gas inside of there. There should be clip right here, one right here, and then this one right here. You're gonna take those out, and then this whole thing should separate. And I believe this little C-ring right here, you gotta take that out as well. So let's do that. All right, so once you get the centerpiece out, you're gonna want to take this one, and there should be one on the other side. It's gonna drop the fuel pump down, and then you're gonna put the new one up. All right, so now that the old pump is out, we're gonna be splicing in. This is the connector that goes to up there. We're gonna cut this right about here, wire in or splice in this, the new harness, and then we want to take out that old O-ring up there, and AEM supplied us with new ones, so we're gonna put a new one there. And the second one, I believe, goes in between the fuel filter. So basically we got the new O-rings right there. We're gonna put a little bit of silicone spray before we apply them. That's just to help out so that they don't kink or pinch or anything like that, because, well, if they do, 9 times out of 10 you'll usually have a starting issue or a running issue, and we just want to take every preventative measure, so let's do that. All right, so the new fuel pump is in, everything's connected, the wires ran. Next step is to just go drop it back inside the car and put it together in reverse order. All right, so now with that tightened down, you're gonna put this fuel line back on, and then you are going to feed this plug through this hole, connect it right there, and then put these 4 screws back on. Now with that back together, you're gonna throw in the rear seat, fix the seatbelt buckles, and then there should be a 10 right back there to hold the rear of the seat down. The front is held in by that clip and that one right over there. And just like that, everything's done. I decided to leave the seatbelt buckles underneath just so it gives it more of a cleaner appearance. All right, so we're about to get the injectors done. What you're gonna do, take off this 10 to release the fuel line. There's another one right there, and then you're gonna lift up these lines and grab those 2 10s, and then same thing on the back side. All right, so with them all out, you're just gonna wanna clean all 3 holes, and then you're gonna take your injectors, place them onto the rail, and put these clips on, and then we're gonna go over to the car and push the whole thing down. All right, so this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna put all those clips back in, and then you're gonna push the whole thing down onto the intake rail. All right, so new injectors are all in. The rails are bolted down. Next, you're just gonna put your 10 here, 1 more here, and then the 12 holding that on, and then you're gonna splice in the harnesses. All right, so with the harnesses all wired in nicely, you're just gonna tuck them out of the way, and after that, you're gonna throw the manifold back on. All right, so I already did it, but there's gonna be 6 bolts and 2 nuts you have to put on right there, and then you're gonna throw on the top plate, and there's, I believe, 8 bolts and two nuts for that. All right, so now the intake manifold is back on. That's gonna be it for today, and the next step after that is gonna be the turbo manifolds, and that's gonna be it.